I hope you practice the Mettā meditation in the proper way. If you practiced in the proper way, you can ultimately gain the highest point. Mettā will turn into karuṇā, karuṇā will turn into muditā, and muditā will turn into upekkhā. And then from upekkhā, you become aware of the 5 constituents of the process of perception. And from there, you begin to understand the paticca samuppada. Then you become awakened from the dream of existence. So that is very good. So the important thing is to practice in the right way. You start with beginning to love yourself. First starting point is loving yourself. So that is how you start thinking, may I be well, comfortable, peaceful and happy. Just as maybe your mother, while carrying you in her arms, may be thinking, may my son or daughter be well, comfortable, peaceful and happy, like that. You yourself begin to think about yourself. May I be well, comfortable, peaceful and happy. So with that feeling well developed, then you extend that feeling to include all beings in the room. Just as I should be well, comfortable, peaceful and happy, may all beings in this room be well, comfortable, peaceful and happy. Now you extend that same feeling outwards to include all beings in the room. Now some people talk about thinking of the family or the father and mother, or maybe your brothers and sisters and people in the family. That is not good meditation, because that is desire and attachment, which is the opposite of metta. That is not friendliness, that is becoming attached. So, without getting attached, you are going to practice selfless love. That is the important thing here. It is not selfish love. It has to be selfless love. So you are cultivating metta in the proper way. So you don't think of your relatives or your family. You are simply thinking of all beings who may be strangers to you, but you practice metta, love. So, you extend it to all beings in the room, and from there, all beings in the whole city. Then from the city you go to the whole country, and from the country you go to the whole of Asia. Then from Asia you go to the whole earth, the planet Earth. And from the planet Earth you go beyond to the universe, to all the planets in the universe, and also all the worlds wherever they may be, known or unknown, seen or unseen. You include all beings without exception. May all beings be well, comfortable, peaceful and happy. You should develop that properly. And when you do that, that is metta, universal friendliness, universal goodwill, universal benevolence. But that is not all. Then you go beyond this to karuṇā. Karuṇā is to think of all beings that all beings are as important as yourself. Although you think may all beings be happy, you may think that your happiness is more important than other people's happiness. But here, you have to develop this interest in the welfare of all beings without making a distinction between yourself and others. Others are as important as yourself. That is how deeply you are interested in the welfare of all beings. It is like the mother thinking of her own children. May my children be happy and comfortable. So in this way you are thinking of all beings. When you begin to think of all beings in this way, your self disappears in the interest of all beings. Just as a river that falls into the ocean and loses its identity. The river disappears. It's all the water of the ocean. So in the same way, you disappear in the interest in all beings. That is the fulfillment of karuṇā. When karuṇā comes up, your self disappears. And when the self disappears, all unhappiness disappears. Because all unhappiness is self-centered. So when all unhappiness disappears, you are happy. And that happiness is not an emotional excitement. The emotional excitement disappears. The mind becomes calm and tranquil. So it is the happiness of tranquility of mind. That happiness of tranquility of mind is centered within. It is not a reaction to what is going on outside. The happiness that is centered within is not disturbed or agitated by the changing circumstances of life. The changing vicissitudes of life. Gain and loss, fame and ill fame, praise and blame, pleasure and pain. These are the changing vicissitudes of life. The 8 changing vicissitudes of life. Atta loka dhamma. Atta loka dhamma. Your mind is not shaken by these changing vicissitudes of life. The mind is tranquil within. And this tranquility within is focused within. This is really, you have entered The fourth jhana, the metta meditation properly developed, is the first jhana. Karuṇā properly developed is the second jhana. Muditā properly developed is the third jhana. Upekkhā properly developed is the fourth jhana.